Let's get started. So I'm here again with a blank Fusion 360 page, and I'm going to start by making a sketch on the very top face. Now to create our rocket, we're going to begin by making a simple circular base, and we're just going to extrude it out into a cylinder. So for this rocket, I'm going to make it, let's say, 50 centimeters in diameter, but you can make it whatever size you'd like. And I'm going to finish that sketch, and I'll select the extrude tool, and I'm just going to extrude it out to however large I'd like. So I think about 200, so 20 centimeters looks good. I'm going to click OK. And then we're going to go ahead and try to make this top point part of our rocket. To do that, we're going to be using the revolve tool. So we're going to draw a sketch on the front plane, and I'm just going to create a new sketch on this plane down here. But we're going to draw it from way at the top. So I'm going to project this, the top of the cylinder line, using P for project and clicking this line. So we'll do OK. And now we have a place to start with. I know I'm going to revolve this, so I also have to draw in a center line, which I can do by taking the line tool and dragging it until this triangle midpoint symbol appears. Of course, I'll make this a center line as always. Now to make the tip of our rocket, the exact shape is completely up to you, but one thing, you can either make it with this conic curve, or you can also make it with the spline like we learned before. And yeah, one thing is I'll use the spline, but I'll be making the top a little bit less pointy just so it's safer to use. So I'll go ahead and draw out this half shape of the cone. I'll click OK to finish, and feel free to just edit your shape. I also want the top to be the highest point, so I'm going to go ahead and try to make this spline line horizontal. And if I can't get it perfectly, I can also use this constraints tool and snap it in place. This looks like a good shape for me, and I'm just going to set a dimension for the height as a reference. 65 looks good, and I'll click Finish Sketch. Now what we're going to do is we're going to take the revolve tool, and you'll see because we set this as the center line and that was the only face open, it automatically revolved. But if not, you can always change the settings here. We want 360 degrees, so a full revolution, and we're going to join it with the rest of the shape. Okay, our rocket is looking pretty good, and now the only thing left that we don't have right now are the fins. So to do that, we're going to start by just drawing one fin, and I'm going to do it on this front face. Now, if you were going to make this rocket and use it maybe with like some solid motors or engines, something to burn for fuel, then you would want to make this hollow so you could put all that stuff inside. But in our case, we're just working on replicating the shape, so I'll keep it solid for now. And I'm going to go ahead and start a sketch for the fins on this front face. Now, the only thing I need to be careful of when I draw the fins is I want it to be sticking sort of inside the cylinder shape. So I'm just going to look at the whole cylinder, and I'm going to go ahead and project it. So I'm going to click the cylinder and do P for project. And you'll see now I have these two baselines. Since I actually want to use the line that's going along here, I'm just going to go ahead and draw it in on one side, and I'll use this as a construction line. Now to make the fins, I'm going to go ahead and use the line tool and drag out the shape. The exact shape of the fins is completely up to you, but for my rocket, I'm just going to look at the size overall and see what kind of shape I want. I know I want this line to be perfectly straight, and it looks like it already is because it's parallel with this one. And I know I want these lines to be parallel as well, so I'm going to select them and use the parallel constraint. Next, I'm just going to go ahead and add some dimensions. And I'm also going to add a dimension for this angle. This looks pretty good to me. I might make it a little bit longer actually, let's see. And yeah, you can just go ahead, but this looks good, so I'm going to do finish sketch. And what I'm going to do next is I'm going to take this piece and I'm going to try to extrude it. You'll notice we can't select anything right here, and the reason why is you'll see that this is a construction line. And now a note on the construction lines is you can't use it to extrude faces because they won't create solid shapes. That's one of the pros of using them, so to fix that for our case, we're just going to go ahead and draw another line from this point down to the bottom. And you'll see the face became blue, we can use it to extrude now. Now, instead of extruding just to one side, because I know I want this part to be symmetrical, I'm going to do extrude two sides. And I'm just going to have each side, actually I'm going to have it be symmetric instead of the two sides, but you can also adjust how much you extrude to one side versus the other. For this one, I'm going to do 1.5. That looks pretty good to me, and I'll click OK. And you'll see now we have a fin. It's attached well to the base shape. There isn't a lot of space between them. And yeah, it's looking good. So the next thing we're going to go ahead and do is we're going to replicate this 3 or 4 times around the whole shape. And now, just as a note, if you notice that there is a large space between your fin and the cylinder, it might be because of where you drew the fin on the sketch. You can always go ahead and use the extrude tool. Click this face here, which will be the one, this edge of the fin, and you can just extrude it out so that it goes way into the cylinder, and that'll make sure everything's stuck together. But in our case, it looks like everything's attached, so that's completely fine. We can also go to the top view and see that it also looks pretty good. So yeah, now I'm going to go ahead and duplicate these. To do that, we're going to be using the circular pattern. So we're going to go to create, going to go to pattern and click circular pattern. Next, we want the object type to be bodies, and I'm going to just select this fin. You'll notice the fin is one of our many bodies, and I'm going to go ahead and select an axis. Since we drew our cylinder on the origin, we can always select this blue axis, but if it's hard to select, you can also, of course, select the cylinder itself like this. And you'll see now we have 3 fins. You can change it to 4. Rockets often have 4 or 3, so I'm going to do 3 for this one. And you'll see that our distribution is full instead of being partial, because we want the fins to be evenly spaced around the rocket. This looks good, so I'm just going to click OK. And there you have it, a DIY rocket. Feel free to add other elements, maybe like a window for like an astronaut to see out of, or some other decorations as you like. Thank you so much for watching.